it seems to me that in our politics and our country and our media, there is emotion about what is happening, as any human being must feel, though we see violence so many places, as Jonathan King mentioned. But the opposition to war mustn't prevent efforts to understand history and context that led to this. It's as if you're not permitted to oppose the war because you're pro-Putin. That's not the case. You're pro-peace and you're pro-history and pro-context, which we don't get enough from our media. There is a kind of, and I think this was Matt Taibbi, who I hired as a researcher on a piece 20 years ago, a piece called The Harvard Boys Do Russia. And one disagreement my husband and I had is that I forgave Jeffrey Sachs because he seems to have repented. But he, he was in there, privatization, Yeltsin, the Harvard Boys. But there's a kind of rhetorical no-fly zone, as Matt put it, where if you raise questions, as we would in the search for peace or the search for an alternative to ongoing endless war, you are demonized, you are called names. And that I don't believe that people have to agree with Noam Chomsky or Steve, but at least you have to listen. And I think the ability to shut people down by calling them names has been a very destructive part of our politics and society. And not just in these last months. Russiagate, you could, listen, I'm sure Russia interfered in some way. The Washington Post had a list about a year ago of 144 places the United States has interfered in, but it just twisted and mangled the politics because you weren't supposed to talk about what are some of the real causal factors in our country that led to the outcome we saw in 2016.